We're here in Coromandel Peninsula and we got here late last night. We had mad traffic leaving Auckland, which is always the case when there's a public holiday. We got here at about 8 o'clock in the evening and it was absolutely tipping it down. So putting up the rooftop tent was an interesting mission, but thankfully because they go up super easy, it only took us about 5-10 minutes and then we were done. And yeah, we had a nice night. Gaia woke up at the crack of dawn, actually no, before the crack of dawn at about 5 o'clock in the morning. So we've been up nice and early and we've just come out to the visitor centre and into the bush to go and see a model dam, and I think after this we'll probably go and get some breakfast and head up towards Coromandel town. But slowly, we're going to take it nice and slow. One of the really cool things about going into the bush in New Zealand is that they have all of these man-made walkways throughout, which it just makes everything so easy and so much more like relaxed. Whereas where I'm from in the UK, generally it's just mud tracks. So you always end up getting really messy, really muddy, and with us currently living in our rooftop tent for the next few days, it makes it a lot easier and a lot cleaner when you get back into the car. It's just amazing. These tracks have been built through the middle of the bush and it's just incredible. Like, look at that.
We woke up this morning and the campsite was basically a mud bath. It was raining on and off and we didn't really feel like setting up our camping stove and making porridge for our first morning camping in the rain, all covered in mud. So we packed up and we've headed into Thames this morning. We've just gone for a coffee at a cafe called Checkers and now we're just wandering down the main street. It is a Saturday morning and there is this really cool market on all the way down the street. Just these little stalls and people selling arts and crafts. Gaia just found some really cool little tops that she wanted to buy and we got some for 2 of her little friends for their birthdays. And yeah, we're just gonna go for a wander and it's so beautiful, it's so quaint, it's such a nice New Zealand town. Thames is right on the edge of the Coromandel Forest Park, which is a massive big forest here in the Coromandel Peninsula, and it is so stunningly beautiful. Walking around the main street here, we're getting glimpses, I don't know if you can see behind me, but glimpses of the forest park, and it is just so beautiful. Like, the bush here is stunning. It's such a unique landscape and it's so Kiwi, it's just so iconically New Zealand. I'm so glad that we actually stopped here to walk around because we weren't planning to. The rain made us stop and I'm so grateful for it. So turns out the rain was a good thing after all. I'm hiding from the rain. Josh and I were just saying we should come here more often because it's actually, without traffic, only an hour and a half from Auckland, which isn't far at all, and it has a really rich history because it was settled for gold mining, and so the museum is really cool to check out, and it's also the northern gateway to the Hauraki Rail Trail, which is something that we've wanted to do for a long time. It's also the perfect spot to start your Coromandel adventure, so I'm just so glad that we stopped here today and had a look around. It started raining again now, so we're going to jump back in the car and head to our next spot. We've just arrived in Coromandel town. We're so pumped to be here, but the weather is horrific. It has been like torrential downpour the whole drive. Still beautiful scenery, but yeah, it's really wet. We're not feeling great about having to set up our roof tent in the rain again, and we're not sure how we're going to fill the rest of the day because it's just ridiculously wet. So we have parked up outside the library here in Coromandel town, and that is a free activity which we're going to go enjoy with Gaia now. She loves the library. Today really hasn't gone as planned because the weather has just been disgusting all day. We try not to be like worried about the weather too much and just, you know, be prepared, have raincoats, changes of clothes, towels, everything else. But when you're camping, it is so hard, and it's hard putting the tent up and putting it down in the rain. So we didn't know what to do today. All the things that we wanted to do, we couldn't because of the weather. We've rescheduled for tomorrow. We decided that we would check ourselves in for a top 10 holiday park here in Coromandel. We stayed in one in Pai when we were on our van trip last year. If you've seen that video, you'll remember that we loved it, and they have so many good facilities. I think we paid $60 or something for the night, and we've been able to use the swimming pool, use the children's playground. They have this like jumping pillow thing. There's a whole lounge room with sofas and books and children's books. There's a kitchen with amazing facilities. There's really good toilets and showers and all of that. It's just a much easier option in the rain. So we have done that today. Not how we intended the day to go. We thought we'd be freedom camping somewhere tonight or staying in a campsite somewhere tonight. We will be heading off in the morning. The weather forecast is looking much better, so we're hoping to fit in all the things that we didn't do today. Fingers crossed, and wish us luck for some sunshine. We left Coromandel town this morning. We checked out of our top 10 holiday park we're staying at, which was fantastic. We headed to Waiau Falls, and they're a free waterfall that you can walk to here in the Coromandel, and the reason that we chose that was because it is a super short walk to do with a toddler. It's about 80 meters. The sign said 3 minutes. We walked up and down the track about 4 or 5 times, and the waterfall was amazing. It's been raining a lot here, so I think that made it even more spectacular. And now we are at Waiau Cody Grove, which is a walk just a few minutes down the road, and it's a 15-minute walk in and a 15-minute walk out, so 30 minutes return, and it's just really beautiful being in amongst all these big tall Cody trees and yeah, being immersed in nature. So another free activity here in the Coromandel. I know, Rose.
So I've been really trying to learn how to speak, or at least pronounce Maori names, and I was watching a video this morning and it was a Maori person telling someone how to pronounce the vowels, and it's a, e, I, o, u, which is fairly self-explanatory, but then when you start having the letters next to each other it gets really difficult. But I'm trying my best to pronounce the words. So kauri, which is the tree that we were just looking at, the kauri trees, I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that correctly, but please let me know if there's a better way to say it or pronounce it, because I'm really trying to embrace the Māori culture as much as possible, considering I'm now a resident here in New Zealand. The kauri trees are so inspiring and amazing. They're huge and they've just got such a massive circumference, and I can't even understand how old they probably are, but they're just absolutely incredible. It's something that literally blows me away every time I see them, because they're just so big and imposing. You can see why they've got such a spiritual reputation for people here in New Zealand.
We've just come up to this Siamese Cody lookout. I didn't know what to expect, but it's one base that's grown into 2 trees.
So kauri trees are known for living for such a long time, but their family can be traced all the way back to the age of the dinosaurs, which is mental. There's lots of different species of kauri, but in Aotearoa, New Zealand, there is only one. So it's a really special thing to be able to come and see the kauri trees. Hopefully Gaia remembers all this when she's older, but if not, then she's got these really nice memories to look back on, and I'm sure that we'll be continuing to travel throughout her childhood. So yeah, amazing memories and an amazing place to come and spend some time.
After a really great morning walking in the bush and going to Waiau Falls, we jumped back in the car and headed along the famous 309 road to the east coast of the Coromandel Peninsula. Our plan was to head to Hotwater Beach and dig a hot water pool to hang out in, but we didn't realise you can only do this at low tide, so it wasn't that successful. We didn't end up filming anything here, but we still had a really fun family beach time. If you are coming to Hot Water Beach, it's worth noting that the hot water can only be found 2 hours either side of low tide. You can find the exact location of where to dig on Google Maps.
Say hi, Gaia. Hi, Gaia.
What did you find?
And we've made it to Whangamata. It is so beautiful. Like, look at this beach behind me. Just like any other New Zealand beach, it is pristine, perfect, beautiful, and there's barely anybody here. It is just amazing. I love this place.
Our day definitely didn't go as planned, eh? I'm so happy because we're on the east coast and that means the sun is going to rise over this beach in the morning and we are early risers. So I'm already excited to come down here with a coffee at like 6:30 in the morning and watch the sunrise, and yeah, really excited.
We've had an awesome adventure today and we're looking forward to another pretty cool day tomorrow. We'll see you then. Laters!
One of the things I love about camping is that Guy woke up super...
There are lots of different family of...
One of the things I love about camping is that you wake up...
There's lots of different family members within the Caldy fam.
One of the things I love about camping...
There's lots of different... Oh, I wasn't recording.
I'll say it later. We've just gone for a coffee.